When we turn to the scriptures in Luke chapter 1 verse 7, we will see there, but they had no child. Now it gives two reasons why they had no child. The first it says is because Elizabeth was barren, and the second it says is because they were both well advanced in years. They were well advanced in age. That means they were old. You see, they had reached a stage of impossibilities. There was a time when Elizabeth was barren, but they were young, so there were still possibilities that there could be a change. The second thing that happened, what made it worse, is she was barren and now they grew advanced in age. That means she crossed the time of childbearing. She must have crossed her cycle of life. Or maybe even Zechariah had crossed his age to be able to bring forth a child, or maybe he had reached a stage of impotency. We see a stage where they reach of impossibilities. Now, they're being connected to God. Many a times people will say, people will ask, God should have heard them immediately. God should have immediately turned their situation around. But I want to tell you, God has a perfect time. And when in your life He's going to work a greater testimony, the valley may seem greater, but I want to tell you the glorious end that you will be seeing in the time to come. And that's what I want to speak over your life. You may have reached a phase of impossibilities. Right now, when you look into the scripture, Elizabeth and Zechariah had reached a stage of impossibilities. And maybe you who's watching right now feel your situation is impossible before your hand or before your eyes. But I want to remind you, your God, the God that we serve, is God of impossibilities. He's the God with whom all things are possible. We see in another portion of scripture, Abraham, God spoke into Abraham's life when he was 75 years old, and that he would be a father of nations, that he would have a great descendant or great generations to come, that people in him would be blessed. But what we see happening is, for the next 25 years, Abraham is going through his tests and trials. They reach a stage where it's now next to impossible to have a child. But God turns things around. Today I want to tell you, you who's watching, if you feel you have reached your phase or your place of impossibilities, God will turn things around. He will change your situation. He will bring good news in your life. No matter what your situation is, God is still the same. He has not changed. He's the same. The things that He did yesterday, He will do it today, and He will do it in the days to come. He has not changed. All you and I need to do is keep holding on. Elizabeth and Zechariah kept walking with God, kept holding on to God. And what we see God doing is bringing forth good news in their life. Today I want to tell you, keep holding on to God. He will bring good news in your life. You may feel it's impossible, but with God, all things are possible. I want to tell you, hold on. Don't give up. Your breakthrough is on the way. You are going to see an amazing testimony in your life.